Hello, One Piece nerds. Welcome back to another video. Today, let's do some predictions of chapter 1053. So, chapter 1052 felt great, honestly, but it felt rushed. I feel like the entirety of the ending of Wano felt rushed, but that's for a later video. Today, let's talk about chapter 1053, what might happen, what I expect to happen, and honestly, not everything I say in this prediction video would definitely come true, but I want some of them to at least be considered to coming true to a certain extent. So let us start off with the bounties. Do I expect the bounties to be revealed this chapter, 1053, or after the final saga starts? In my opinion, if Oda's going to make this ending worthwhile, I don't think the bounty posters should be revealed until the final saga. The final saga starts the final journey of the Straw Hats. It starts the final, it starts the final preparations you need to have to find the One Piece. And I feel like the bounties of everyone we're gonna be getting, which I would say Kid, Law, and Luffy would definitely get a huge boost in their bounties, considering they've taken down two emperors. I feel like that should be reserved for the next saga. It should resume when, you know, when the final thing is starting, final whatever it is. When we're literally at the end point, I think that is the time we should get it. If we get it in chapter 1053, what is going to happen is going to take up an entire page, honestly, if you ask me. If you're going to properly show everyone's bounties, when I mean everyone, I mean major players. Like, you expect the bounties of Law, Kid, Killer, probably Apu, I don't know. Also, Luffy, we want literally the entire Straw Hat crew's bounty revealed. Maybe some of Kid's crew as well, some of Law's. And if that's going to actually happen, that would take up a significant amount of pages of the last chapter of Wano, which I don't think is right. I know a lot of people would hate on me with this, that Oda's literally gonna make us wait a month and a half for bounty reveals when he when he just does it when it is hyped up to be it. Every time we've been hyped about the bounty has been revealed in the exact chapter. There has been no delays. But I don't think this is the right time, this is the right moment. I feel like the right moment would be the start of the final saga. That would set everything up. That would set Luffy to be the most wanted man in the world, the person with the highest bounty overall among any pirate alive, and followed by next emperors or whatever. About the emperors, really, we need the emperor reveals, but I think we are not gonna get it. The same with the bounties. It's gonna take up a while. It's gonna take a lot of pages. Maybe we do get a mention that, okay, Luffy is the new emperor or whatever, official emperor this time. Maybe that would happen while Luffy, comes across maybe Admiral Green Bull or someone else. Someone else. I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like the whole emperor reveals should happen after the final saga starts as well. That goes along with the bounties, but I feel like Luffy needs to know that he's an emperor. Because I'd expect someone to take care of him. I'd expect some sort of an interaction in the last chapter of Wano if you're going to hype things up for the final saga. That being said, let's move on to the following point. My following point is about Robin. So, Robin and the Poneglyph. Content of the Poneglyphs. Do I expect Robin to tell us, the whole crew, about the contents of the Poneglyph in the next chapter? Perhaps not. Perhaps not really. I don't think we're going to get it at the, final chapter of Wano. Because if we're going to wrap things up and head for the next part, I feel like that should be reserved for the final saga as well. I'm saying that it could happen. I'm not saying these won't happen. For a complete logical reason, in order to make Wano's ending fulfilling, or we feel all that rush stuff over the last 4 chapters. 4? Let's say 4 chapters. Over the last 4 chapters, Wano's been rushed. Ever since ever since the fire thing started, it's been rushed. Ever since 1046 when Raizo cleared up everything with the water and everything. From that point onwards till now, it's been rushed. It's been very rushed, and it's my belief that Oda just wanted to wrap things up quick. Now, why is it rushed? That's also for another video. So, let's talk about, what when we're gonna expecting the poneglyph content to, reveal to us. I would say that would happen when we are setting off for the next island. Lodestar is definitely not the next island because we still have one more poneglyph to get. And if we're going to get that poneglyph, I expect Robin to know the next destination or somehow get a hint of the next destination as to where the Straw Hats could find the next poneglyph. And that, along with the rest of the content, I feel like would add up very well when you're talking about entering the final stage of the story. I believe that is the point where it should be happening. We might get it. We might definitely get it. And the world government capturing Robin is a very looming plot threat right now in the arc. Do I want that to be resolved? Yes, 100%. That is the one plot thread about Robin getting captured, or somehow Robin interacting with the world government, or the Straw Hats interacting with the world government. I feel like that needs to happen next chapter. Whether it be brief or can take up 4 or 5 pages, I do not care. But I think that is the one conflict that is a must solve for this arc. Because it started in this arc, and if it doesn't solve it now, I don't think it was worth it to just bring it up anyways. There are some other plot threads in Wano that might have needed a solving. We needed to have some more clarification about the situation of the war and everything after the raid. But since we got the 1 year time skip, I don't think Oda is that making us think that it's that important. Okay, I'll consider that. Maybe it's not that important, but it still feels very empty. Considering we see the status of every single opponent, every single major player in the opponent's side that gets some sort of, a punishment or fate or whatever, we didn't get it. We didn't get that. I don't expect to get it in the next chapter because that's a lot of things to cover. I think that's going to be covered after maybe we are gone through Wano, but I can't really complain if it doesn't happen as well. So, as for the next plot point, I feel Admiral Green Bull has to come in contact with Luffy and the Straw Hats. Whether it be Momonosuke only or the Straw Hats, I don't care. But if Green Bull is definitely coming to Wano, and if he has a plant-based fruit, which he probably does have, I feel like he's coming to Wano not to get in contact with the Straw Hats, but rather to help Wano itself. Because we know that Admiral Green Bull has been under fasting. He's been fasting for 3 years now. He has some sort of a prayer or a goal that until he fulfills that wish, we're not gonna see him eat or drink. And I feel like that has to do a lot with Wano. Wano's dreams and goals have a lot to do with Admiral Green Bulls as well, because it's been highly anticipated and theorized that Green Bull has a major connection to Wano. And I feel like that should definitely come into play. And the only Admiral being sent or, coming coincidentally to Wano is Green Bull. And I expect Green Bull to be somewhat like Fujitora, because these guys were taken from the international Survey Corp, I don't know, whatever. Thing is, they weren't handpicked they weren't, climbing up the ladder and picked because of their loyalty to the Marines or their justice towards pirates or whatever. I don't think they have that, strong, justifiably one-handed thing that pirates are bad. All pirates are bad, Marines are good. I think Fujitora, the same way Green Bull, would be that their justice definitely has to be on par with, what's good and what's bad from a normal perspective. Just the way Fujitora sort of treated Luffy in like the good guy way, and how he basically didn't do anything to stop Luffy, think like Green Bull would let them go. Green Bull would let them go. His goal is to repair Wano, not to capture the Straw Hats or to deal with them, because that would basically make things way worse for the Straw Hats. If we're going to enter the final saga, hardly imaginable that the Straw Hats have to come in conflict right now, especially after the conflict is over. And to wrap it all up, the final plot thread that I do have is Yamato joining. I feel like Yamato joining should be confirmed in the next chapter, whether he will be joining the Straw Hats. And yes, the pronoun is he. The pronoun is definitely he. After the last chapter, Oda's made it clear. Yamato is pronoun is a he because he proclaims himself to be Oden. Now, until that changes, it's a he. So Yamato joining or not joining the crew has to happen in the next chapter. That is the one confirmation I want for the Straw Hats leaving Wano finally. That should happen alongside, getting some resolution about Carrot, maybe a little bit about Carrot, maybe she's staying behind. Tama's definitely staying behind because she does as of last chapter. I feel like we got a little bit of hint that Tama's not prepared to take on that grand world that she was preparing to take with Ace, because she promised Ace that she would join his crew if she was a full-fledged shinobi, which she's not. And Kunoichi, my bad. So, aside from that, the final thing I want to talk about, I just remembered, is the whole banquet. In every single arc, every single big arc where a tyrant is taken over, that is always followed up by a big feast. Now, will that big feast happen in Wano? Unlikely. I don't expect that big feast to happen, because that takes a lot of time. That just can't. A big feast cannot start in the first panel of the first page and end on the last panel of the first page. It cannot be a one-page thing. It has to be multiple pages or perhaps an entire chapter. That's a resolution. I don't think we're going to get that resolution, since Oda's doing all these sorts of things to create this looming, hanging plot before we go off for the break. I feel like there's going to be a lot of unresolved plot threads at the end of chapter 1053, and the banquet is not going to happen. The banquet that might happen is the banquet that Luffy said would happen after they won the war, which will be on the Straw Hat ship after Yamato joins the crew. That is the time that I expect the only banquet to happen. Before that, I don't think anything will happen. That is it for my predictions. I have another video followed up, which I'll be talking about very shortly, about Kid and Law. Kid and Law, I'm going to talk about them for sure. And until then, if you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Have a great day, and peace.